welcome, Shaw. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. If you haven't already, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn them notifications on. Back today, and we are back doing a bit of field work today. Just a little bit of an update since the last video. The last video was about our TB testing and foot bathing. Since then, we've obviously done the reading, but I hadn't recorded a video about it. We did not pass the TB test. Unfortunately, we had 2 inconclusive cows and 1 as a reactor, so all 3 of them have now got to go. Now, one of them inconclusive cows went this morning, but we're actually having to wait for the other 2, the 1 reactor and the other inconclusive, to go because they are too close to calving. They're both due to calve within the next 2 to 3 weeks. Whoever sorts it out basically said it was a welfare issue transporting them to slaughter, so we've actually got to keep them on the farm until they calve, and then they will go straight after. A little bit of a pain because we're having to isolate these 2 animals separate from the rest of the herd. Because they're so close to calving, we are actually getting away with not milking them, but we're still having to feed them, and ultimately they are still taking our time to look after them. Once they've calved down, we can actually keep the calves, but the cows still have to go, so we will just be a little bit low on milk. Was a little bit annoyed about that the other day, but it's sort of gone by now. It's still a bit of a pain, but we're out in the fields today. It's a gorgeous sunny day, and yeah, making the most of it. Mark's currently just up the top end of this field. I'm currently stood in one of our fields of wheat, and he is just going around the outside on this. Now, we're putting the fertilizers on today. We've got 3 applications to do. We've got a DAP, which is an 1846 naught. We've got an MOP, which is a 0060, and we've also got our nitrogen, which is a 34.4%. We've seen that in the unloading video. So today we're going to be focusing on the fertilizing. Ground conditions are relatively dry, actually. I'm stood on this now. You'll see by the gateway we've got the tractor and sprayer. I've just been around the outside of this field with the sprayer, just marking out the tram line for the outside run. Now, we do that because we don't tram line on the headlands when we're drilling. We just don't leave a big headland. I don't know why we don't do it, but we just don't. So we literally just come through with the sprayer, mark out where we've got to go, and then Mark can follow them lines with the fertilizer spinner. It just makes it easier, saves you trampling more crops. So what I'm going to do today, get some footage on this camera of him working in the field, but we'll also get the drone up. Now, hopefully we're going to have quite a few videos coming up. I've got a lot of field work to be getting on with, and to be honest, this lockdown stuff isn't really going to affect us greatly because we've got so much to be getting on with. We're sort of going to have been in lockdown on the farm anyway. We wouldn't have been going out and doing much, especially with it drying up. Hopefully it stays this dry now. Get the fertilizers done, get some spraying done probably by the end of next week. We've got all the grass harrowing, all the rolling to do. We've also got some fields we're going to have to plough up. The agronomist's been around this morning. We've got 3 of our fields of barley that we planted that we've written off now. We're going to plough them up. 1 by the farm, we're going to put some forage rape in for the cows to graze in the summer. Then the 2 fields of barley we've got on the top on the ground that we rent, we're going to plough them up and we're going to put some stubble turnips on them, hopefully get them grazed off towards the end of July with some sheep, and then we'll be able to put that down to grass. We've also got another field of wheat which failed. Now, that was a bit of a shock, to be honest, because it was a first wheat going in after a turf, but it's quite a wet field and it just hasn't come. It was half there, half not, and the agronomist said we might as well knock it on the head. So the plan for that field, we're going to leave that now until the back end of this year, put it in with wheat, but between now and then we're just going to hammer on a load of slurry and yard muck on that field to try and get the ground back into a good condition, because it has just suffered over the last few years. Also this week, me and Dad are hopefully going to be going around the next couple of days sorting the fences out, and then by the end of the week, if the weather stays as it is and the forecast still looks good, hopefully we're going to get the cows out. That's the plan anyway. There's loads of grass. They're starting to get a little bit itchy. As we've seen in other videos, we spoke about the cow yard. It is really warm at the minute and they don't like going in them cubicles, so we're getting quite a lot of cows lying outside. So if it turns out to be like that, we'll turn them out. If it does come wet, we've always got the option to bring them back in. So let's get some footage of the fertilizer going on and we'll speak to you guys in a bit. That comes sharp. Tell you what, it's a bit of a pain. I want to film close up to this tractor, but when the fertiliser comes out of that spinner, bloody hurts. I could do with a tripod, because then I wouldn't have to worry. Maybe have to get one of them. Another glorious day. This isolation stuff ain't so bad.
These skies have a different light, white noise that keeps me up at night. I can't help but think back to you. I wish that I could find a face that I would recognize. I replay the memory of you. It's been hard, you know I wanted to stay, caught us off guard, but there was no other way. Did you wait? 'Cause I've been counting the days, and I'm calling to say I'm coming home to you. I'm coming home to you. I'm coming home to you. And I know that it's time with you, but I'm coming home. Hold on to my embrace, this time I promise it won't break. I'm hoping that things haven't changed. Life took us far apart, but it never took away my heart. Have you been holding it safe? 'Cause it's been hard, you know I wanted to stay, caught us off guard, but there was no other way. Did you wait? 'Cause I've been counting the days, and I'm calling up to say I'm coming home to you. I'm coming home to you. I'm coming home to you. And I know that it's time with you, but I'm coming home. I'm coming home. We'll stay up till morning and head out exploring, make up for months that we've missed. 'Cause the cold air is calling and my head's recalling the moment that I was convinced. We'll stay up till morning and head out exploring, make up for months that we've missed. 'Cause your lips are calling and my heart's recalling the way I could never resist. It's been so hard,